CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Nariman Isa.
Well, good evening. It was a shaky start to the evening for some Albertans after an earthquake struck our region. Now, according to Earthquakes Canada, a 4.5 magnitude earthquake struck our province just before 5:30 this evening north of our city. Now, it says the earthquake would have been lightly felt in Edmonton, Gibbons, Legal, and Bonaccord. Now, the earthquake was 18 kilometers northeast of Morinville and 42 kilometers north of Edmonton. Well, it is a historic day for mankind as the Artemis II mission to the moon launched.
8, 7, RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
It was all systems go at the Kennedy Space Center around 4:45 this afternoon. The launch marks NASA's first lunar mission in more than 50 years. It also marks the first time a Canadian will go on a mission around the moon and the furthest a Canadian has ever gone into space. Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen is on board the mission. And it wasn't just the NASA control room that was celebrating today. A lot of cheering as hundreds of Edmontonians celebrated the launch of Artemis II at a watch party at the TELUS World of Science.
Oh, it was exciting. The atmosphere in watching it together as a group was exciting with other people who are space enthusiasts as a group. So it was really fun.
At least one Edmontonian went on a mission of his own to watch the countdown and the launch in person. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has the story.
Seeing Artemis II launch into space is a moment in history that Zachary Aubert knew he couldn't miss.
Many of us joke once you have one, you become addicted. There is just something about the power, the vibrations, the feeling that you get, and it's different with every rocket.
Aubert runs the Launchpad, an online space platform that provides live updates and space news. He was invited by NASA to see the Artemis II launch in Florida.
There's a physical reaction to it, and most launches you watch are cargo, but this one has a crew on board. And there's something just really special about being able to be here in that moment.
An out-of-this-world experience he's been waiting years to witness up close. Standing at 98 meters, Artemis II is carrying more than just humans, but a hope for the average person to live in space one day.
There's a real excitement around that because there really, the saying is there's a place for everyone in space. And there really is, whether you're an artist or a lawyer or an engineer, there is a place for everyone.
But for Aubert, seeing astronauts head towards the moon again is another moment in history to unite each other.
No matter how much our countries maybe dislike each other on the planet, we've been able to still work unified in orbit. And there's something that when you're up there, you just see that, we are one planet, we are one being. And I think that's where people get really excited.
And a chance for a new generation to feel connected to space.
For the first time in 52 years, anyone younger than 52 will be able to look at the moon and say, hey, we can actually go there, not we went there.
Police have made another arrest in connection with the deadly shooting on the QE2. Police won't yet reveal the motivation behind the shooting, but say it was not a hate crime. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
Our CMP believe that we now have arrested and charged all suspects in relation to this incident.
A second person has been charged in a deadly daytime shooting on the QE2.
23-year-old Dion Libsickle, who was already in custody on unrelated matters, was arrested in Edmonton.
In mid-March, on this stretch of highway south of Leduc, Barinder Singh was driving with two friends. Police say he was in the left lane when a truck approached on the right.
They previously had no knowledge of each other until they came upon each other driving south on the highway.
Police say the friends in the car said they were shown a peace sign from the people in the truck, which they returned. Soon after, police say 2 shots were fired at the car, killing 22-year-old Singh.
Our victims were true victims that had no criminal history. but our suspects have a criminal history.
Libsickle, who police believe was driving the truck, is charged with second-degree murder and accessory after the fact. 18-year-old Jimmy Gassner, police believe was the passenger and possible shooter, is also facing second-degree murder charges.
In our investigation, we could show that there was absolutely no planning. This was probably occurred and became an incident within 2 minutes. We have seen no evidence to suggest that this attack was motivated by hatred or racial bias against any specific group.
Investigators have also ruled out road rage, robbery, and gang initiation. While trying to protect the investigation and court process, police couldn't yet rule out mistaken identity or say if it was a random incident.
We can't promise this is never going to happen again. That being said, this is something that is a very rare instance. This doesn't happen often, and I think that people can still feel safe driving on the road and not have to worry about something like this happening to them.
The accused remain in custody. Libsickle is due in court tomorrow. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The provincial government says proposed changes to the Education Act are designed to encourage conversations on topics and viewpoints that are unfairly silenced in classrooms. However, some teachers say the legislation amounts to censorship and adds additional stress when schools are facing more serious and immediate struggles. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
I think every teacher starts off with the premise of we all have our own opinion.
In his 30-plus years teaching social studies to junior high students, Gary Nelson discussed some touchy subjects like politics and human rights. It's a practice he worries fewer teachers will pursue under newly proposed legislation.
The path to sound judgment is through vigorous discussion and debate. And what we're saying is you can't have that vigorous discussion and debate. The teacher certainly cannot be allowed to even be the moderator.
Bill 25 makes a number of changes to the Education Act, including a requirement that teachers ensure all viewpoints from students are treated equally, even if they believe those views are misinformed or potentially harmful. Education Minister Dimitrios Nikolaides says the goal is to remove ideology and bias from the classroom.
The changes that we've made in the legislation help support critical thinking and help support discussion of maybe controversial or challenging topics, because we're safeguarding a student's right in the bill to express diverse viewpoints.
Whether it's the impacts of the oil and gas industry, LGBTQ rights, or even flat earth theory, Nelson believes teachers have a responsibility to separate facts from opinions for their students.
8, 9, 10-year-old kids, they don't know all the information, and they will come into their classes with a lot of mistruths, misinformation, partial information, and complete lies.
Opposition leader Naheed Nenshi believes the new rules on classroom bias are redundant.
I believe kids are smart. I believe they need to learn how to deal with opposing views the way this government has never learned, and we should trust teachers to do their jobs.
The Teachers Association says existing professional standards already cover bias among educators. Staffing and classroom size and complexity remain the union's top issues. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province is putting forward legislation that would give it more power over immigration. The Immigration Oversight Act would require employers to register with the province before they access federal temporary foreign worker programs. It would also create a licensing system for immigration consultants and recruiters. Alberta's immigration minister says Bill 26 would give the province information it was not receiving from Ottawa and put up safeguards for workers.
We're taking all legal means possible, which is in my mandate letter from the Premier, to take more control over provincial immigration. And in doing so, it will support the businesses in Alberta, and it will create a more transparent process for people coming from out of country to work.
The province says these tools are already in place in Saskatchewan and BC. If passed, the legislation would be implemented over time. The UCP government is also proposing changes to legislation to implement parts of the budget. The UCP introduced Bill 27 today. Now, if passed, it will amend 5 pieces of legislation. It includes the Seniors Benefit Act. Changes would apply a 9% income threshold adjustment to non-deductible income for low-income seniors.
We're balancing fiscal responsibility with the need to protect the long-term sustainability of programs seniors rely on and focusing supports on those seniors who need them most.
Bill 27 will also make changes to the Automobile Insurance Act. This will help Alberta transition to what the province calls the Care First model. Well, an update now to a story we brought you a week ago. John Maloney, a blind man approved for medical assistance in dying, went through the procedure. Now, his close friends say he died with dignity and forever changed the lives of others by donating his organs. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports.
John didn't like to use his cane. He liked that human connection.
Tom Langner and John Maloney met more than 20 years ago through a mutual friend, quickly connecting over philosophical conversations.
We loved going out for lunch. There's our regular spots that people always recognize us coming in, because people don't forget some guy walking in and somebody has his hand on my shoulder kind of leading him in.
A few years ago, the two traveled to Victoria together. John was completing an in-person residency at Royal Roads University. He also crossed something off his bucket list.
Of course, we find this breakwater with all jagged rocks, and the waves were crashing up against it. And but I got him to the end of that thing like he wanted to, and you have to reach down and touch the ocean. And
last Friday, Tom picked John up from his home and drove him to the hospital for a medically assisted death. The day before, John learned he could donate several organs, his lungs, a kidney, bone, and tissue after dying.
You will absolutely live on in these people. So important to him.
I was going through sight loss pretty much for my whole life.
3 days prior, John spoke to CTV News about his decision. He said he was tormented by an incurable condition that replaced his sight with nonstop visual hallucinations, contributing to severe insomnia. He learned track 2 was an option after attempting suicide 2 years ago.
He tried taking things into his own hands, and now you don't get the dignity and respect.
New legislation from the province would limit MAID to people whose deaths are foreseeable within 12 months. Tom believes it should be an individual's choice and supported John in his.
Right from the testing of the organs right up until prepping him for surgery. Everyone was just so wonderful, respectful, and I'll say it again that John died with dignity.
Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The provincial government has received a failing grade when it comes to dealing with Edmonton's homeless population. 1 year after Dan Johnstone, known as Can Man Dan, launched his Time for a Change campaign, he's given the province an F grade. He's also given the city a C-. According to Homeward Trust, nearly 4,000 homeless people are living in Edmonton. Johnstone says that far outnumbers the amount of shelter space in the city. Johnstone says while politicians have been eager to meet with him, they're less keen to make changes.
I think compassion's being lost. I think empathy's being lost. And as a society, we need to wake up and just look at the streets, look at what's going on, and look at these people's lives who are being changed by drugs, who are being changed by alcohol, homelessness, abject poverty. They're never going to be the same afterwards, and we have to do something about it because the rate is not slowing down.
The city says homelessness is a complex challenge that no single organization can solve alone. The province says it leads the country when it comes to responding to homelessness. Well, for the first time this season, the Oilers have won 4 in a row. The Oilers blinked the Seattle Kraken 3-0 last night. They're now within 2 points of the division lead. Connor Ingram made 27 saves for the shutout, which happened to be on his 29th birthday. A treat was waiting for him after the game.
They sing happy birthday to you after the game?
No, thank God.
Cake?
No, not here. I think Sarah's got some cupcakes for me at home, though.
Oh.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, what's your favorite cupcake?
I'm not much of a cupcake guy. I'm not an icing guy. Yeah, she brought home a cookie, and that's what I've been eyeing up all day. Yeah, a little mini egg cookie. Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm going to get into it.
The Oilers host the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow night at 7. Well, one of Canada's biggest R&B artists is coming to Rogers Place this summer. Daniel Caesar is making 7 stops in Canada during his worldwide tour. He'll play Rogers Place August 13th. Caesar won Juno Awards last week for Songwriter of the Year and Contemporary R&B Recording of the Year. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Well, still to come, the rise in gas prices could soon be affecting your grocery bills. Also, a federal tax reprieve extension is providing relief for local alcohol makers.
And so it allows us to grow, allows us to reinvest in the community and hire more people.
Good evening, folks. Some flurries and periods of light snow on the way off and on through the day Thursday, but it does look like we'll see the sun break through the clouds and temperatures will start to warm up nicely Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Full look at your forecast in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Two meal kit services are the subject of a new recall. HelloFresh Canada is recalling some of its meals after cheese was found to be contaminated with listeria. The recall applies to both HelloFresh and Chef's Plate products in Canada. Customers would have received the meals between March 7th and March 27th. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says symptoms of listeria may include vomiting, nausea, fever, muscle aches, and severe headaches. Small breweries in our province are celebrating an extension to the federal alcohol tax hike cap. Now, since 2017, excise taxes paid by brewers, wineries, and distillers have been set to automatically rise in line with inflation on April 1st each year. The federal Liberals put a temporary cap on the hikes at 2% since 2023, and this year was going to be the final year. The feds have now extended that cap until 2028. One local brewer says the cap extension will let them stay competitive with larger companies.
The impact to the 2% restriction will save Toolshed over $60,000 over the next 2 years in excise tax. And so it allows us to grow, allows us to reinvest in the community and hire more people.
The federal government is also giving a 2-year extension to an agreement that cuts excise taxes in half for the first 15,000 hectoliters of beer that's brewed in our country. Now, 1 hectoliter is roughly equivalent to 133 standard wine bottles. The price of gas is now putting major pressure on grocers. As CTV's Andrew Johnson reports, some are being forced to consider raising prices.
It's just chicken broth. As he stocks the shelves alongside his daughter, David Lee Quen knows there are tough decisions ahead. I am worried that if this continues, I can't take care of my family. This being the war in Iran and the resulting surge in gas prices that he says has already increased costs at his Vancouver grocery store by about 5%. But Lee Quen is leaving the prices alone for now. We want the customers to still shop here, because if you put up your prices all the time, it's not good. But independent grocers like this one can only absorb so much. If you can't cover your overhead, you got to increase prices. The Canadian Federation of Independent Grocers says shoppers should brace for higher prices.
We're already getting notifications of price increases, and in some cases, some of the distributors of products are tapping on surcharges, fuel surcharges.
The price I saw on the way in this morning was $2.69 for diesel.
Dave Earle represents truckers in BC and says they're frustrated. He says how much of shipping costs will be passed on to shoppers can depend on what is being shipped.
If it's a load of electronics that's worth $2 or $3 million, the extra, $500 to $700 in fuel, it doesn't make much of a difference to the end cost of the product. If it's a load of lettuce, that's very different. Death of 1,000 cuts. Everywhere you go, everything is a few cents more.
Everyone we spoke to expressed hope for a quick resolution in Iran and a return to normal for oil prices. But they also acknowledge even if that happens, there will be a lag and grocery prices could remain inflated for months. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
If everything holds, Calgary's water restrictions could lift tomorrow. Crews have turned on the pumps at the Bearspaw South feeder main, and it's now in operation. They are keeping a close eye on the system to make sure the pipe and water system remain stable. Water restrictions began in Calgary and surrounding areas last month for repairs to the aging feeder main that saw 2 catastrophic breaks. WestJet is taking action against barefoot bandits on its flights.
Bare feet on my flight, I'm shocked to see.
WestJet put out this video for April Fool's Day. While it is a joke, WestJet is asking people to keep their feet covered during flights. The zoo also had some fun, posting about new exhibits, including Bigfoot and Ogopogo viewing areas. The zoo also had a spot to run with the geese. Now, the city of Fort Saskatchewan also getting in on the fun today. It posted this picture with an idea to make its water tower a little more exciting with a super slide. Well, coming up, moisture in the mountains. What a banner year for the snowpack in the mountains means for our spring and summer.
This year we're seeing a lot of above average snowpack, so higher depths and more snow.
Programming brought to you by Senior Home Care by Angels, Canada's choice in home care.
Welcome back. Not bad temperatures today. Degree cooler than yesterday. We got to 5 yesterday, 4 for a high today, so just slightly below average. -8. The morning low will be a lot milder than that tomorrow morning, about -3 in the city, but only up to around +1 for a high in the afternoon. I don't want you to take these numbers as gospel, but this just sort of gives you an idea of where the heavier pockets of snow are going to be. Looks like most of that heavier snow will dance around the Edmonton area from Red Deer east. And this model has you at 5 centimeters in Red Deer. I think anywhere between 5, maybe as much as 10. There are some spots, though, between Red Deer, Coronation, and then especially from Calgary off to the south, where we could see closer to 15 to 20 centimeters of snow. Those would be localized pockets, though. Most areas from Red Deer south towards Calgary, about 5 to 10, maybe a 5 to 10 centimeter pocket there off to the west, northwest of the Edmonton area as well. I think here in the city, 2's probably on the low end of the range, anywhere between 1 or 2 centimeters, maybe as much as 5 or 6 centimeters by the time the day is done. Let's give you a timeline on that. There's your flurries or light snow overnight and into tomorrow morning. You notice the heavier snow, steadier snow is all well off to the south. So this won't be consistent, nonstop snow all day tomorrow, but every now and then we'll see some pockets of precipitation roll through, and that risk continues right through into the evening hours. I think by the time we get to about 10 o'clock tomorrow night, we should see that start to move out, and a mix of sun and cloud on the way for Friday as warmer air moves back in. -8 Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, -5 in Grand Prairie, about -3 for Edmonton and Red Deer. Daytime highs tomorrow, 3 or 4 degrees above zero across the northeast. 1s and 2s in the west and northwest with the chance of some flurries and light snow. Heavier snow further south, especially Red Deer south towards Calgary, and then some of the heaviest snow from Calgary off to the west southwest. Here in Edmonton, periods of, for the most part, light snow tomorrow, +1. 6 on Friday with a mix of sun and cloud. 8 or 9 on Saturday, and about 5 or 6 for a daytime high Easter Sunday with the chance of some scattered showers. Long range forecast, yeah, more of the same. Kind of temperatures somewhere in the 2 to 7 degree range for daytime highs through most of next week. That is your forecast.
Well, the snowpack in Banff National Park is more than 2 meters deep in places, and experts say that's well above average. That is good news for soil moisture and to keep our water reservoirs full. CTV's Kevin Fleming reports.
She typically spends her workdays in Edmonton going over data related to snow accumulations all over the province. But now Natalie Brunet is on a field trip of sorts.
Today's special treat. So usually we're in the office looking at weather models, looking at all of this data that the field techs are collecting. But today I get to come out and put not quite faces to names, but the equivalent for snow surveys.
Brunet is working alongside of Meg Guan in Banff National Park.
So this information is really valuable with the snow surveys that we do. We put it into the water supply outlook that I usually do from my desk, and that has kind of basin-wide for the season, how much water volume do we expect to run off into the rivers.
The new data is compared to historic recordings, so the province knows if the current snowpack is above or below average. Many of the survey sites are only accessible by helicopter because of their remote locations within the national park. Guan uses simple tools to collect her information.
The snow tube goes in the snow, grab the tube, and the scale is weighted to density of water, and by knowing the snow depth and the weight of this core snow, you can figure out the water equivalent.
Brunet says there are many stakeholders downstream who rely on river and reservoir forecasting, and she says the numbers show that reservoirs are in good shape for the start of the season.
Lots of snow in the mountains does not equal lots of flooding downstream necessarily. So really what drives the big floods in the major cities is the big rain events. but the rate at which the snow melts is not fast enough to cause flooding on a wide scale.
Survey technicians say that the season started with a number of large snow events, and that snow remained throughout the season, with new snow added to it, increasing the snowpack. Now it's finding that many areas are well above average, and in some cases, they're 2 times the normal average. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Banff National Park.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your evening. Good night.